Let's run it back with the 2006 Air Jordan DMP package. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already, why don't you hit that subscribe button. Originally released in 2006, the Air Jordan DMP package that consisted of one Air Jordan 6 and one Air Jordan 11. Each shoe representing the first championship runs. So the first shoe was the 1991 Air Jordan 6, black infrared, where the infrared accents were switched out for the gold print, mimicking the championship trophy won in the 1991 NBA championship. And the second was the Air Jordan 11 Concord colorway, switched out the Concord accents for the gold accents throughout the shoe, representing the 1996 NBA championship trophy. Now, to talk about the package itself, one of the greatest double packs of all time, in my opinion. And it's not because of the shoes that came in it. It's the way the shoes were presented in the package, the quality of the material of the shoes, and the shoes itself. First, looking at the package, is this gold Air Jordan pack with the numbers 1991 and 1996, representing the two first NBA championship runs, the Jumpman logo, some words in the corner saying defining moments, a limited edition collection by brand Jordan, and your size tag. Your size tag says 9.5 Jordan limited edition, multi, representing multicolored. As you open this unbelievable pack, you see the Jumpman on top of two double stacked boxes that also say 1991, and which states Air Jordan 6, first NBA championship, June 12th, 1991, and 1996, the first of the second three-peat, June 24th, 1996. And as you open the shoes, it's kind of like a story. Jordan Brand at this time liked to storytell, which they don't really do as much anymore with their packaging. We're missing our retro cards. We're missing that information that for the people who weren't there to experience these moments, you're missing telling the story to these young kids about Michael Jordan, how much he meant to us and how much of a superhero he was to us at this time. So Jordan Brand gave us the packaging here, telling us a story of these two shoes. And there is a picture of Michael Jordan's famous move that you would hear Marv Albert. As Michael flies through the air through the Los Angeles Lakers during the 1991 NBA Finals. And then you have a picture of Michael Jordan flying through the sky in his Air Jordan black-red 11s in the 1996 NBA Finals against the Supersonics. Now, as you open the box, you get the little booklet. Like I said, they like to story tell and tell us a story. And as you open the booklet, you see the same pictures as you do on the pullout, the 1991 NBA Championship and the 1996 NBA Championship. And they also give you a picture of each shoe that you're getting in the package. The black gold Air Jordan 6. And where I don't understand why Jordan Brand did this, they have a picture of the Air Jordan 11 DMP sample. If you look closely, you'll see that Jordan lettering across the eyelets, which was very rare to see because this shoe didn't actually release this way with the Jordan on the eyelet. So it's kind of weird that they actually put this picture of this shoe inside the pamphlet. In my opinion, I'm glad they didn't give us the one with the eyelets. I personally think it looks really weird with the word Jordan down the eyelets. It just doesn't make sense why that's there. I think it looks a lot cleaner without it. But for the people who did receive these pairs with the Jordan lettering, you could see a few of these people throughout the internet that have this in their collection with the Jordan print. When we first got this package, it says Defining Moments Series. So this was the first series of a package of Defining Moment packs that were supposed to come. But this was the only Defining Moment pack that released. And in my opinion, I think that it would have been great to see a 7 and 12 and an 8 and maybe 13 or 14. I think that would have been great with gold accents. Even though over the years we did get certain shoes in those series in the gold accents, but it would have been nice to see a package like this has been done with the creativity and the storytelling that we got with this. Now on to the shoes itself. Now I never wore these. These are probably the only shoes in my collection I've never worn. I have put them on my feet when I first got them. I have put them on my feet once in a while just to wear around the house, but I've never actually worn them out and about. And fortunate for me, none of this stuff that has happened to people where the tabs have split or this has started to crumble, none of that has happened because I've had them out of the box on display ever since I got them. The original Air Jordan 6 DMP was crafted in such beautiful quality that it's just amazing the quality they put through on these first edition Defining Moments package. The suede on the first retro or the first DMP 6, it does have a slightly different material than it does on the front of the body. Like the original Air Jordan 6 has a different material for the back heel than it does the front of the shoe. A very nice suede with that gold 23 accent, a Jumpman, the gold print on the midsole. Very nice suede. You know, the toe is not bad. Like it's shaped okay at this time. Like that looks like a good retro. It might be a little wide. It always looked a little wide to me, but the toe itself, it looks great. I did unlace this because I always enjoyed the lace lock in this position. So I unlaced this original one, and to have it on display, I had it in a display case at one point in time. I have it on my Gatorade display case right now. My favorite part of the Air Jordan 6 was this Jumpman, which is kind of like a melted, embossed gold material. It's not stitched on like all the original Air Jordan 6s. And inside, it said it has Jumpman Air. The sole is starting to yellow, but it's got a nice yellow to it. It's not an ugly yellow. It actually suits the shoe, I think. It has yellow. It was never blue or icy when I first got it. And it came with the keychain on the shoe, which says Air Jordan 6, June 12th, 1991. Defining moment, MJ's first professional championship. And then you have the Jumpman on the other side, and it says made in Taiwan. On to the Air Jordan 11. When I first got these, I thought they looked a little different, as the patent leather was a little lower than the original one and a 2001 retro that I had of the Concorde. But wow, the quality on this Defining Moments Jordan 11, when I got it, I just didn't want to wear it. I thought it looked way too nice. And as you could see, the patent leather quality on it is really nice. Even though it's a little lower, and I thought it was a little lower to me, it looks good. Like the cut of the patent leather is nice, and it looks the way it should. Not like that crappy retro from a 2000, that mid-2000s Jordan 11 Concorde that had the wonky, really too low patent leather. This one was the best that we have gotten since that 2001 retro. I have the embossed Air Jordan Jumpman, which at that time, this was wrong. This was the first thing I noticed on the DMP, was that this Jordan was facing the wrong way and should be facing that way. And you have your 23 in gold. And on the bottom, which I always thought was so cool, was the black pods instead of the purple pods. And yes, the clear sole is yellowing, but looks good. You have your carbon fiber shank plate, which has like this slight tint of gold inside the checkerboard, as you can see, which I always thought was really cool. And inside the shoe, the very same insole that you see on the Air Jordan 6. And you also get that classic Air Jordan 11 behind the tongue tag, inspired by the greatest athlete ever. which also came with the gold keychain, but I took it off the shoe because it was starting to, where it was hanging, it was starting to make the loop yellow. And you see the Jumpman Jordan with the gold Jordan inside the lace words. So in 2006, when the DMP package was released, this was one of the biggest releases ever for Jordan brand at this time. And in my opinion, the greatest release ever put out by the brand Jordan. Unfortunately, up in Canada, I lived in Winnipeg, and 99% of the releases at that time came to Winnipeg to either boutique mom and pop stores or Foot Locker or Champs that we had at that time. And luckily, I worked at Champs, which is also part of Foot Locker, where I had easy access to any of the Jordan shoes that would come out. But unfortunately, the DMP package that released in 2006 never made it to Winnipeg, Canada. So this was the very first release that I ever traveled outside my country to go get a release. Of Winnipeg, we have a small community of sneakerheads. And at this time, we took a road trip. We planned a road trip. We took the day off from work, and we planned a road trip to go down to Minneapolis to purchase this DMP package. We found out what stores were getting them through the Nike Talk website and discussions online. Since there was no Instagram or websites other than Nike Talk and maybe Facebook to talk about releases that were coming out. So I think maybe a good 10 of us went down to Minneapolis, Minnesota. That is a good 8-hour car drive from where I live in Winnipeg, Canada. And probably one of my greatest road trips I had with friends on this hunt for the DMP package. Now, we knew what mall to go to, which was the Mall of America in Minneapolis, and we knew what stores were getting them. I believe Foot Locker, Foot Action, and I believe Champs were all getting this release at that time. We drove all through the night and stayed at, I think it was a Holiday Inn. We all stayed at very similar hotels in close range to the Minneapolis Mall. And we got up early to the mall around 5 a.m., and circled the mall for what entrance everybody was going to. And fortunately, there was not a lot of people there at 5 a.m., so we all called each other at that time. They were all flip phones, so we didn't have a FaceTime or anything like that. But we all called each other and said, okay, we each go to each door, and when they open the doors, we'll all rush to a certain store. So my store that we chose for me was to rush to Foot Locker. And I was third in line. Second in line was a friend of mine, and then there was somebody else in front of him. And as I stand in line, I want to know what sizes the two gentlemen in front of me are going for. And fortunately, they were not going for my size, so I had guaranteed my size at the mall. And it was probably one of the coolest, easiest, smoothest releases that I've ever gone through. As there was a lot of hype on it. There was a few people in the mall, but it wasn't like the crazy Jordan 11 retro day where the whole mall was being ambushed for the shoe. This was a very easy release to get, and fortunate for us, we had a great time doing it. So what happened was I got my shoe size, and at this time, the retail price was $295 for 2 pairs of Air Jordan. I do not know why I didn't buy 2 pairs. I only bought one at this time, and we left the mall, and as I was leaving the Foot Locker doors, a gentleman outside offered me $400 for the set, and I said, you know what, I drove all the way from Canada for the shoe, I'm keeping it. That was a great experience, a great adventure that we went on to get the Air Jordan 11 and Air Jordan 6, and we went to other stores after we went through the hype of getting these shoes. We went to other places around Minneapolis, such as Fredmans. If you've ever been to Fredmans, in the early 2000s, they had some crazy heat. It's a mom and pop store in downtown Minneapolis that had some crazy heat sitting on the shelf. Shout out to Fredmans in Minneapolis, because I really enjoyed going to that store and seeing some of the older models that were still sitting on shelves. Was crazy back in the day. So as we came home with our DMP package, we got stopped at the border, and in the back of our car were 4 or 5 gold boxes of these Air Jordan DMP packages, plus 12 boxes of Krispy Kreme donuts, as in Canada at this time we did not have Krispy Kreme. So the border security asked us what we had in our car, and we told him we had shoes and donuts. And he looked at us like we were crazy and pulled us into the lot to check our car. And he checked our car and he said, yep, you have shoes and donuts. On you go and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And that was one of the greatest adventures of a sneaker release that I ever went on. Shout out to the boys that went on the sneaker trip with me in Minneapolis. You know who you are. So shout out to you guys, because that was one of the greatest sneaker adventures I've ever been on. In my opinion, an unbelievable package done by Jordan Brand. Unfortunately, we never got a continuation of the series of the Defining Moment pack, and we had to wait a couple of years before they brought out new packs. And they brought back the packs, the calzone packs, or whatever the heck they were called. But they had no real love put into these packages, as the shoes that came in the packs were terrible quality. The Air Jordan 4 especially, the Air Jordan 8 was very plasticky, and they weren't put together the way that this package were, with love and creativity. They were just thrown in a pack. Like, who cares if one shoe adds to 23? Because people who like the Air Jordan 8 didn't like the Air Jordan 12, or the people who like the Air Jordan 3 didn't like the Air Jordan 2. Like, it just made no sense, that package. If they could go back to the Defining Moment packs, I don't think they could do it now, because the prices are too ridiculous. The prices for one shoe is now the price of that package was back in the day. So it's not even worth that time to do the packs anymore. But in my opinion, the greatest package ever by Jordan Brand. What do you guys think about the Defining Moments package from 2006? Is it, in your opinion, the greatest package ever made? It is in mine. Let me know in the comments below. And also let me know how you guys think about my channel. I've been trying to work different things and different styles into my channel. So let me know and give me some comments on things that you may want to see. Until next time,